The season of Carnival is winding down, culminating today on Fat Tuesday. Revelers in New Orleans, Mobile, and all along the Gulf Coast are celebrating the remaining hours of Mardi Gras in a big way. The massive party draws tens of thousands to the Big Easy every year. I spoke with the president and CEO of the New Orleans Convention and Visitors Bureau, Stephen Perry, earlier today about the magic and mystery of Mardi Gras. Hey, Stephen, happy Mardi Gras.
Joyeux Mardi Gras, Dan, from New Orleans.
Oh, my goodness, I'm not exactly sure what that means. It looks like you're having a little fun. Where are you at, St. Charles Avenue?
Let me tell you, we're right in the smack in the middle of the beginning of the parades on St. Charles. We have the great Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club, which was formed in 1909. They're the great African-American themed crew that has been marching, and in fact, they're the crew that Louis Armstrong was once the king of. And you know, since Rex, which is one of the oldest of the crews, follows right after them. Funny story a lot of people don't know is Louis Armstrong, when he was king of Zulu and met Queen Elizabeth's father, King George, he made the famous line, "How you doing, Rex?" Carrying that New Orleans tradition all the way with him.
Now, Stephen, the parades are such a big part of the Mardi Gras tradition. You mentioned a crew. A lot of times these crews are part of a secret society. There seems to be things like Knights of Columbus and Mystics of Time. And what's the deal with all that?
Well, you know, they originally started as masked balls back in the 1700s, particularly under the French. Now, when the Spanish took over from the French, they banned the masking, because they didn't want the French revolutionaries, I just got pounded by some beads, the French revolutionaries to be able to do anything to the balls. But what really you have now are a group of open crews, social aid and pleasure clubs from every socioeconomic cultural group in the city. And that's what makes Mardi Gras really real, is because culture here bubbles up from the street. It doesn't matter what neighborhood or what means you have, you're a part of Mardi Gras and part of its richness. You know, these crews have been going since prior to the Civil War, been marching for 175 years, and today is the finale. You know, Mardi Gras Day is actually officially recognized by the Catholic Church. It's the end of Carnival, which is the 6 or so weeks since the Feast of the Epiphany, or January 6th, 12th night, where you feast, you celebrate, and then for all of those in this old French and Catholic and Spanish city, after midnight tonight, it's Ash Wednesday, and you try to repent a little bit for all the fun you've had.
The 40 days of Lent, you have to dial everything back a notch, right?
I'm sorry, Dan, say it again?
That's okay. We'll just move along. You got tagged with some beads a few minutes ago. I hope you're okay. That's such a big part of Mardi Gras for so many people, and it's such a recognizable facet of it. What's the tradition of the beads? Why does everybody throw those around?
The beads and the throws, which began with doubloons, and then eventually Mardi Gras beads, has been going on for over 100 years. But it really has picked up steam in the last, probably since World War II. It's really became even more significant, and each of the different clubs or crews will develop a special throw that's very valuable. The Zulu crew that is marching right now is known for having the finest, most desirable of all the throws, and that is a hand-painted coconut, which is absolutely, it's amazing what they do with them. And so, you know, what's so nice about this is the horseback, the bands. You see bands from all over the South, in fact, all over the country. This celebration over a couple of weeks is worth probably close to $1 billion to us, and nearly 1 million people come into the city. But again, how in the world could you throw a Super Bowl and then have a bigger party the next weekend?
That's a tall task, but Stephen, it looks like you guys answered the bell. I'm sorry we're out of time, but you have a lot of fun, and thanks so much for chatting with us today.
And we can't wait to get to Tuscaloosa next year for that LSU-Alabama game.
Oh, well, we're ready.
Some fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Stephen, have a great day, buddy.
Dan.